On January 7th of 2009, we had a house fire. The fire started in the circuit breaker and shot across to an outlet and exploded, and the home burst into flames very quickly.
It was all in flames, and it was cut off any chance I had to go down and get to the kids' rooms. I got outside, I started counting heads, and realizing we're missing Raina, decided that I'm gonna have to go back in. I grabbed a stick of firewood and bashed the window out, and I went. Her door blazed up, which was wooden, and it lit the room up like a flashlight, and there she was. So I got her. She felt so heavy with all the smoke and carbon in my muscles. So the deputy encourages me to keep coming, and I hand Raina to him, and then I go out the window.
She was barely breathing. It was horrific. She was in a coma for a week. Her body was covered with third-degree burns. She had about 2,000, 3,000 staples. Raina's skin had basically melted. I had to take her every day into this place called the tank room and scrub her, and I could hear her scream.
It's tough. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. She had to endure skin grafts, her healing, Pseudomonas, she got jaundice.
It was absolute hell for me.
I felt very sorry for Raina, and I wanted to make her life as easy as possible because of all the hell she went through.
Raina survived that night, but the $1.5 million insurance settlement was no reward for all the scars left behind. Nearly 80% of her body had third-degree burns. Rich and Kathy say Raina turned 20 years old, and she's been more irresponsible and reckless, partying, dropping out of college, blowing through her money, and sleeping all day.
At 18, Raina begins to receive her entitlements, which are the payouts structured by the courts.
Raina gets $800 a month, plus every so many years she gets a payout for $25,000, and then in another 5 years it's another $30,000, and then $100,000, a few more years, $200,000. By the time she's 45, she'll have her last payout at $400,000.
I think Raina's very irresponsible with her money.
Raina dropped out of college after about 3 classes. She was out partying, smoking marijuana.
Raina hasn't had a job in about 8 months. Raina cannot pay bills on time to save her life.
That's past due.
What?
That's your total past due.
Yet Raina has spent money on fixing herself cosmetically.
$500 a pop for lip injection, about $6,000 for breast augmentation, Botox, a few $100s.
When Raina doesn't pay a bill, it gets to the point where either it's getting repossessed or it's getting turned off, and she cries to her father.
Dad's gonna pay the power bill.
Over the last year, I think Rich has probably given Raina $25,000 to $35,000.
I want her to learn her own responsibility, so I want to stop helping. But I have not been able to say no.
Now, Raina is not able to help herself.
Well, I'm glad you're both here, and I'm glad she's here. You said you were told by one of the first responders that if you had been 30 seconds earlier, that this might have been avoided completely.
She wasn't actually speaking to me. She was talking to a co-driver in the ambulance.
Because you're wondering, was there something you didn't do that you could have done, or did do that you shouldn't have done that cost time? Because you say when you got there that Raina was barely breathing, right?
Correct.
I'm a dad. Forget about Dr. Phil for a minute. Let's just talk Phil and Rich here. I'm a dad, you're a dad. Our job is to protect our children.
Right.
And you didn't protect. That's what you say to yourself. You know it and I know it. And so that makes both of you parenting her from guilt. She can't pay a bill on time, she sleeps all day, you know, she's irresponsible in everything that she does because you make that possible.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I'm hoping that she will be able to get her life together and get on the right track, along with us being there to support her and encourage her to do that and quit babying her and enabling her, because you're right, that's what we've been doing.